Are you guys having fun with Tekken 8? Are you guys headed in the right direction? Imagine asking a Tekken dev for directions, bro. You'll be asking, yo, my guy, where's the nearest McDonald's? I'm trying to get a McRib, bro. And the next thing you know, you're in the Darien Gap getting trafficked by the cartel to become some drug lord surrender hole, bro.
What do you mean you both want to use the surrender hole at the same time? I already had 100 loads today.
You know, usually when something hits rock bottom, the only way is up. When a drug addict gets hooked onto heroin and their arms start to look like Danzos from Naruto, or when a basketball player tears their ACL and then they look like that one dude off of South Park, as time goes on, their life can only improve as they have already seen the lowest of the lows. For Tekken fans, when we look up, we immediately sink back into the ground, because what we see when we look up is a lemur phoenix dragon with extending snakes that shoots laser beams and has a Wukong pole. Now, if Harada was to come to my house in 2003 and tell like 3-year-old me who was playing Tekken Tag Tournament, "Little Gov, please design character, Tekken character, playable character for Tekken 4. Never in my wildest imagination as a 3-year-old would I ever look into Katsuro Harada's face and tell him, Harada-san, please add a lemur phoenix dragon with extending snakes that shoot laser beams and has a Wukong pole into Tekken 4. That would be sick as fuck. There is no sane human on this planet that could have ever come up with this design. None. The random guy that they found in a hentai internet cafe, who they then pulled into a dark room and performed 3 levels of MK Ultra on his mind just to create Mary Zo, was then forcibly fed LSD and injected with at least 500 milliliters of horse tranquilizers so that he could create the monstrosity that is currently on my screen right now. There was a point in time where the craziest things in Tekken was Devil Jin shooting laser beams from his eyes, which was always retarded. But even then, like as stupid as the Tekken story is, there was a legitimate lore reason as to why Devil Jin could do this. What is the lore behind a lemur phoenix dragon with extending snakes that shoot laser beams and has a Wukong pole? You are not about to tell me that because Mary Zo, when she was 5 years old, decided to play dominoes with a demonic fighting entity, that now all of a sudden she has snake arms that shoot laser beams. You are not about to tell me that, bro. If this was the case, I live in the UK, which is the same place as the HMS Vanguard. If I was to play Snap with the HMS Vanguard, would I all of a sudden sprout 4 15-inch guns from my butt crack and become an impenetrable force of the seas, bro? I don't think so. So can someone please explain to me why this 60 kg girl that can't even fist bump herself properly has extending snake arms that shoot laser beams and a Wukong pole? I actually don't understand this, truly. Like, lore does not have to be everything. You can just add nonsense characters sometimes. Like, to me, Claudio is a pretty nonsense character. But if you was just to add someone into the game like that, I'd be cool. That's like an acceptable level of nonsense, you know? The issue with Mary, though, is that she is quite possibly the stupidest thing I have ever seen in any fighting game in existence, and Guilty Gear exists. I don't know how they can keep getting away with this. Clive was already a character where I was like, bro, the end is near. Like, this is stupid, bro. But somehow, some way, Mary Zo has topped even that. Because at least with Clive, you can just say he's from a shit Final Fantasy game. But Mary Zo is an original Tekken character, which is ridiculous, bro. Like, this game is made for monkeys now, and I've said that many, many times. But look at this, bro. This is a Soul Calibur character, bro. And even Soul Calibur players would look at their devs in complete disgust if they ever put forth this abomination. Even if you look at this game from a perspective where you think, yo, this is just a party game, which most people do at this point, like just point and laugh and we can still have fun, you will still look at this character and just be like, come on, bro. Mary Zoe's existence is literally when you're a little kid and you're stomping on ants and shit like a menace, and then one of your boys pulls out a magnifying glass and starts burning ants alive. Like, bro, come on. We were turning our brains off, doing retarded shit, and now you've taken it upon yourself to become an actual school threat. Like, you're actually just drinking jugs of bleach at this point. Like, come on, bro. I hope you guys, like, get what I'm saying. I don't know, I'm kind of yapping. I watched 10 seconds of Mary Zoe gameplay, and I listed almost 15 things that I hate about this character. That's like a complaint for every 0.8 seconds, bro. I'll just put the list here. But at this point, I might as well have a checklist for the usual bullshit that every single Tekken character has. 10 frame into stance mix-up is the usual offender. I hate these, bro. Every single character who has this automatically classified as a brain-dead crispy sloth character, bro. Like Ozuseina Arlisa, now Mary Zoe, why you get double the reward for a 10 frame punish, which you get for any unsafe move, is beyond me, bro. The fact this is another character with a homing mid-heat engager is beyond me, bro. The fact this character looks to be another character who can wall carry from Tijuana, Mexico to San Antonio, Texas is something I cannot understand. If you are a Mexican and you want a better life in the United States of America, just grab onto a piece of Mary Zoe's magic lemur tail while she's doing a combo, fam. Why does every single character in this game just do the same thing? And why is every stance transition in this game a fucking spin? I could go to my Muay Thai gym right now, and if I even attempted to do some stupid shit like this, I would receive the meanest slap of my life and be banned for a week, bro. I'm not saying that realism and Tekken need to come hand in hand, because clearly realism has left the chat, but could you at least be creative enough to create some more unique stance transitions, bro? If you're going to spam stances onto every character, like at this point just put custom transitions into the Tekken store, fam. This really isn't going to be a Mary Zoe gameplay analysis video. This is just me getting my shit off, because how on earth do you make a female character with tan skin and big tits cringe? How is that even possible, bro? Like, that aesthetic is reserved for the goats, bro. Giovanna, Angel, Elena, Christy, bro, how do you make this cringe? Guys, do you know how hard it is to make a character with heavies of this caliber? Literally the worst thing in existence. It genuinely takes talent to do something like this, bro. These dudes are working with the dark side of the force. These guys are more dumb than dumber, and somehow they're committing more atrocities than Prime Emperor Palpatine. Pre-feminism. I can't even say I'm tired of these dudes anymore, because these fuckers put me to sleep like 6 months ago, bro. Tekken 8 is literally the Adderall of fighting games, bro. Mary Zoe actually introduced this really interesting, I don't want to like say mechanic, but like this type of move where she can direct where you go after landing an attack. So essentially she can aim a wall splat. You guys have most likely seen what I'm talking about, so I don't really need to explain that too much, and I'm pretty sure she has like a wall stance or something as well. So she's actually a character that interacts with their game in a number of different ways. Unique ways, which is actually very cool. The issue is they've put this kind of mechanic onto a lemur phoenix dragon with extending snakes that shoots laser beams and has a Wukong pole. That's the biggest error they made here. Add to the fact that this game is so fundamentally broken that adding cool things to the game will forever remain an afterthought, because in the end of the day, the gameplay loop is so centralizing. Despite having sick ways to interact with the wall, the whole basis of the game is still to 50-50 the fuck out of your opponent, which is a joke. These devs will never again be able to add anything cool into their game without the game feeling completely washed, because the game at its core stinks, and it's looking like it will remain stinky, because Mary Zoe is literally all of the things that we complain about Tekken rolled into one character, and she is the last DLC character of the season. So it's not like season 3 is going to have some big gameplay overhaul, because that means they would have to change how Mary Zoe works as well, only a couple of months after she released, and that makes no sense at all. Well, that does make complete sense, but from the scope of a development team, it makes no sense. I am just so baffled by this character. Having remedial gameplay is one thing, okay? But all of this extra flashy shit, this doesn't even make sense, bro. Why is she a why does she have phoenix dragon bird wings? A lemur tail, which is like the only thing that I can make sense of because she's from Madagascar. But she's also got a Wukong pole. Why has she got snake arms? Like, okay, she has snake arms. Whatever, bro. Why are they shooting fucking lasers, bro? Why? Bro, Ogre was never doing this bullshit, bro. True Ogre, which is a literal 9-foot demon, bro, at the very most was doing roly-polies and breathing fire, which, when you compare that to this idiot, is incredibly tame. Incredibly tame. I think that Donald Trump pulling up with a literal nuke button that turns off your PC when it's activated would be tame compared to Mary Zoe turning into a fucking Susanoo. You know, back in the day, dudes were saying that Tekken basically just copied Virtua Fighter, and the series definitely did take a lot of inspiration from those games. So I'm just taking this opportunity to blame Sega for how Tekken is being so shit, because there was nothing for Harada or Michael Murray to copy all of these years. Like, these dudes really had to be stealing off of Sparking Zero and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm and shit, and that's why we have all of these anime shenanigans in our game, fam. Like, Harada, when Virtua Fighter 6 comes out, you need to go back to copying them, man, bruv, because your game is more washed than Season 1 need, bro. It's actually unbelievable how arse this game keeps getting. You know, guys, I was really going to install this game, you know. I was going to reinstall. Pretty often I'll get a comment on one of my videos, or I'll comment on someone else's video and they'll be like, yo, Gov, get back on Tekken, put the fries in the bag, bro, or some shit. And I was like, fuck it, I'll hop back on, who cares, it might be funny. Then I saw this slut, and I'm thinking, I'm good on that, bro. Like, guessing on Street Fighter, like, that sounds pretty good. I'm doing alright now. I'm doing okay. Like, I'm good over here. All Harada had to do was keep his game at a level of shit where it's the same level of shit as when I quit the game, so it doesn't feel any worse when I get back on the game. And then the motherfucker introduced Mary Zoe. You can't make this up, bro. I genuinely don't know when I will ever reinstall this game. I can't hop on ranked right now because all the 5-year-olds cosplaying as grown men are mashing buttons with Mary Zoe right now, and will probably be doing so for about a month. After that, what is even left for me to return to? Anameta, bruv. What kind of dickless human being would I have to be to return to a game where I have to spend 5 minutes holding safe homing mid bazooka strings into random bullshit every time I run into an Ana? What kind of masochist would I have to be to put myself through a set of Tekken against a Nina player? All the while some idiot on Twitter is telling me I hate female characters because they're female. All while I'm playing Steve, the most washed, boring character the game has ever seen. I seriously don't think there is a character in Tekken 8 that has been so dumbed down. Like, I get what they did to the Mishimans, I get what they did to King and shit, but they deadass turned one of the hardest characters in the game into like top 5 easiest, bro. Like, just up back 2, bro. I'm not even gonna have fun playing that, and I don't even want to give this cornball ass company my money and buy an AK for real. Guys, if you really want me to hop back on Tekken, like the video. I might change my mind, but for now, remember, like, comment, subscribe, all that bullshit. I'm done yapping.